Despite my best efforts, our viewers actually like DA. So we're going to read their comments. I'm James the Greek.
And I'm the DA.
And this is Man Cave Sports. We're about to segue into the comments, and I'm sure there's going to be some Bauer comments.
I'm trying to piss people off.
Please just wait, David. I'm a professional. Let me do my job.
Today is a piss off people day.
Let's start with the first comment that really spoke to me. From UTFT777. If you could, please do a vid on the situation where Griffey allegedly was asleep in the clubhouse. The reaction from the team, Griffey, and the behind the scenes. Thank you for your contribution to the M's. At least 2009 was fun. Now, full disclosure, you and I are very good friends with Junior. We love Junior. But what David is going to say right now is the absolute truth. And I have no idea what you're going to say, but please continue.
2009 was fun. 2010 is when this all happened. I don't know if we've talked about this. We might have talked about it once on a podcast years ago. So 2010, they decided to make a bunch of trades with the Mariners, right? 2009 was amazing. 85 wins, 86 wins after 101 losses the year before. So we bring new guys, Mike Sweeney. We bring Griffey back. I don't know who else were the big ones that guys were brought in, but we just obviously all the bullpen was all new and all this stuff. Whatever, the whole team was new. We were fun, excited. We started playing great baseball. We're playing one-run baseball every single night. We're out there. Griffey has an amazing year. Ichiro hits 200 hits. All the standard stuff is amazing. Everybody's having great years, kind of comeback years, kind of that, or the last hurrah year. The next year, they're like, all right, let's do this again, but we got a good team, so we're gonna be better. So we go out there and get Cliff Lee. We bring in we trade Carlos Silva to the Cubs for Milton Bradley. Sean Figgins, we bring him in from the Angels on a big sign. Casey Kochman, we bring him in. All this stuff. Problem is that completely changed the dynamic. Completely changed the locker room. Sean, great guy, but he didn't hit worth his weight.
Whoa. Chone is not Sean. It's Chone. And if Chone Figgins was here, I would tell him his name is Chone. Continue.
Yes. They changed the entire dynamic, and he didn't hit well. Again, he was an amazing hitter in Anaheim, and they just didn't play well. Casey Kochman didn't play well. Just wasn't his deal. And Griffey just wasn't quite the same, right? He had his last hurrah, but they brought him back. They brought him back for Milton. So Milton needed, the guy was his hero. Season's not going well. Griffey also, one thing you got to know, man, he doesn't sleep well. Doesn't sleep well at night. He stays up all night long. So, yes, there were times where he would sleep before games. And Barry Bonds would sleep before games. Very famously, probably sleep before games. He told me all the time. He goes, rest your body, rest your eyes, get ready to go hit baseballs. So the story came out that Griffey had fallen asleep and missed an at-bat. And that there was a pitcher had told, the front office that this was true. So we were in there, we're trying to figure out who that pitcher was, who this was. And it's a whole big blow up, right? They end up releasing Griffey, and he leaves the team, and we're trying to figure this out. A couple things didn't work out, though. One guy could have possibly been the pitcher, and I'm not going to say his name, but he was about the most trustworthy human being I've ever met in my life. I'd trust my wife and kids with him if I died. And we confronted him straight up, and this dude on his deathbed said, we'll say he never sold a word. He never said a word, absolutely at all. I'll say it. Okay. Doug Fister, incredible human, incredible. Doug Fister.
Fister?
Damn near
I hardly
killed her.
know her.
So Fister damn near killed her. So he was the one who supposedly told the team. None of this is true. Griffey never missed a bat. They went back to the game and found the video and everything. Never missed an at-bat. Never missed anything. They never went to him for the at-bat. They never looked for him. There was nothing there. I am sure, and this is my opinion on it, the front office how do you get Ken Griffey Jr. out of Seattle? You have to come up with a story to make him look really bad. And this was a story to make him look really bad. Or they set him up for a pinch hit attempt when he wasn't ready or something. Like, they set him up. But it's something stunk, and we all knew it. And then they ended up firing everybody that was associated with that team. Anyways, the front office ended up getting fired the next year, and the managers got fired. Everybody cleared house because it was just bad. Not true. Griffey did not miss an at bat or was not sleeping. For sure was not sleeping. And the man, they outed a man in a way it should never been outed.
And what's really funny now is Griffey owns part of the Mariners. So there you go.
He can sleep all he wants.
At Kelvin1906, in response to our O.J. Simpson episode, said, "Did you guys crusade this hard when the policemen beat Rodney King and were acquitted?"
Great comment. Thank you, Kelvin. 1906. I don't know that's when you were born, or you're just not a big White Sox fan. 1906 or 1909? When was the White Sox? One of those two. I don't know what the 1906 is. Anyways, Rodney King happened in LA in 1991. I was 9 at the time. So I apologize to you, Kelvin. I was not a big advocate and standing up and crusading. I was actually in my house in south of Los Angeles, fearing for my life when the riots happened on April 29th, 1992. Scared because I didn't understand. I didn't know what was going on. And I was really hoping that they don't come down our street because we didn't have a way to protect ourselves. So I apologize. I was not behind this and crusading for him. I didn't have a podcast or a video at the time. Internet, I don't even know if it existed at the time. But I would say this, that wasn't right. And what OJ killed people. Not right. I'm sorry. Get over it.
I got nothing to add to that. You said it perfectly. Quite succinctly, my friend.
Thank you.
At Starlit Creative Co. said, "I want to know what the F Lenny did. And no, this Michelle never had the juice post-prison. I will make a deal with our listeners. When we get to 100,000 subscribers, and we are growing very quickly, when we get to 100,000 subscribers, I will do the full Lenny Dykstra expose. I will call guys that I used to work with. I will do the whole 9 and let you know what Lenny is really like. Unless he dies first, and then we'll do it post-mortem."
Can we get him on? Can we... Okay, well, I got to ask this. If Lenny said yes, would you have him on air only if I got to interview him, but you couldn't talk to him?
Absolutely. 100%. I would love to have him on, but I won't talk to the man because he's a scumbag. And when I went up to him and I told him, "Hey, scumbag, where's my 60 grand? He pretended he didn't even know me.
You're giving some story away. Stop.
It's okay. It's okay. There's a whole lot. Like I said last time, the whole bandwidth at YouTube cannot support my Lenny stories.
If you ever need your car wash, ask James.
And finally, from the same O.J. Simpson video that we did, OG Durag Sensei 92. That's a pretty dope-ass name, I must say. "You're trying to downplay a man that beat his case. He did things you're never going to achieve. You're corny for talking about a man after his death." Now, allow me to retort, Mr. Durag Sensei. I have not played professional sports. I never got to do any of that. However, my podcast partner, my best friend, did get drafted in the first round. He did play professional sports for 14 years and has achieved way more than you ever will. So, before you start throwing stones, take a look at David's resume and then tell me what we've achieved and what we haven't. Thank you for subscribing and following, and we do appreciate the comments, but I just had to put that out there.
I do love the name too. OG Durag Sensei 92. Maybe 92. Maybe he was born during that way, right? No. OG. No, I did not achieve what OJ did as a career. OJ's a Hall of Famer. Incredible. But he kind of screwed up a couple times in his life and very publicly. And because of that, we get to talk about it. And that's kind of our job, is to talk about it. So I'm sorry that I don't have the resume on a football field. I also have the resume of not killing somebody and not lying about it, and then not like having to give all my money to that family, and not then going to prison, and not kind of being an overall douche canoe. Use that term again. I don't wish death upon anybody, but he died and he screwed up a whole lot in his life. We get to talk about it.
We're going to go from one douche canoe in OJ to another douche canoe to now another douche canoe. We got some comments after the Marcus Stroman video. So please, allow me. At Cocky Spaniel said, "How are you going to make a video about a player and you don't even have your facts straight? Marcus never denied pitching opening day. It was agreed between him and management to keep them on track so he doesn't get hurt. Get your facts straight and don't even put out a video because it's bullshit stacked with fake news." My dear friend, Cocky Spaniel.
Cocky Spaniel. That's a good at Cocky Spaniel. Nice. I like it. At Cocky Spaniel. Here's the problem. In The Athletic on March 14th, here's their quote. He was asked by the GM, Brian Cashman, and Aaron Boone to start opening day. He declined it so he could stay on schedule. Sorry, mic drop. I am sorry. The dude came to him, and yes, it is a franchise decision. The organization makes that choice with Marcus. When Marcus says no, the organization backs him up and says, yes, okay, you have a great point, Marcus. You were hurt last year, and we don't want you to be hurt. There was a lot of good things to be said about this. At the same time, the organization walked up to him and said, Marcus, will you step up and start opening day? We would like you to start opening day. And he said no. That's the whole point of this. That's the thing about it, is when they asked him, he said no. And I personally think that doing it, if you're on schedule, keep on schedule, fine. It was a 2-day difference, and he could have been fine. He could have been okay. He might not have been, who knows, and that's Marcus' decision, and that's what you do when you're trying to make millions of dollars in big leagues. You have to make those decisions. Personally, I think he made it because he wanted to wear pinstripes at home. I think that's everything he had to do with it. That is my opinion. And that's my opinion from knowing the man, playing with the man, getting to stand next to him and watch him throw a bullpen and tell us to not put cameras, not put Rapsodo around, because he didn't want us to have that information. Even though he's so progressive and wanting to know all that information. He's with the pitching guru. He's everything with pitching. But he didn't want that information from us because we could use it somehow against him, his pitch data. Or maybe we could try to help him. That's his choice, and that's the type of man that I got to experience. Maybe Cocky Spaniel, you know a different Marcus. Maybe you understand Marcus. Maybe you get to hang out with Marcus all the time, and you know the real reason. All I know is from personal experience, from knowing a man, I'll tell you what I think, but I also, if it was for the other reasons, I understand, and I get it. I just have spent enough time with him to have enough doubt in my mind about why he made that decision.
Beautifully said, my friend. Beautifully said. And finally, we got some interesting comments on our Lindor versus Jeter show. So, user OR6YM3YP7V, you guys should do a series of this. Deep comparisons of players of today versus retired players. I'm glad that you enjoy it. It is a series. It's something that we're going to continue to do. We recorded LaDainian Tomlinson versus Barry Sanders already. And I'll tell you right now, David, you don't know what's coming, but I got 2 more in the back of my head. One of them is going to trip you out. Tony Gwynn versus Ichiro.
No, don't do that. Don't make me pick Tony Gwynn over Ichiro.
We don't know. We got to do a deep dive. And then the other one we're going to do is Mario Lemieux versus Wayne Gretzky.
Oh. Can we just do Messier versus Gretzky and just say, screw it, get this over with? So people can get in a fight?
No. Lemieux versus Gretzky is the better argument because you can make a case for both of them.
Oh my God, I'm fighting with a name right now. Who's the center for the Pittsburgh Penguins right now?
Sidney Crosby?
Sidney Crosby versus Gretzky. Sidney versus Lemieux versus Crosby.
As much as I love Crosby and he's a great player, he couldn't sniff either player's jockstrap.
Ovechkin.
Oh God, he's so overrated it's not even funny.
I love this. Bobby Orr.
No, we're not doing a show right now. Bobby Orr is close, but we'll talk about this another time. But I did want to give you a couple of the comments from people. You can't compare championships in baseball. Lindor was amazing in the playoffs for the Indians. How was he supposed to win the title? If your only argument is championships and intangibles, then you have no argument. And he later on went to say, the intangibles, Francisco Lindor is one of the most intelligent players in baseball. You also said that the Mets haven't taken a step forward with Lindor. Dude, they have had their second best record in franchise history behind Lindor. Lindor performed in the playoffs. I forgot that he was supposed to pitch for the Mets. That from @CodyBats. Cody, I like you. I want you to keep watching. I want you to keep commenting because maybe somebody will drill this into that bald head of David Ardsmas.
I love it. I appreciate the comment, Cody Bats. Having a great season, without a doubt. You guys had a great season. My problem is having a great season doesn't mean you took a step forward. because then you immediately followed with some of your worst seasons of all time and most disappointing season of all time, even though you guys went out and got just a team of a century. Just incredible. Hall of Famers left and right. That's an issue I have with this. I'm not doubting his intelligence. He's incredibly intelligent, incredibly smart ball player. He is a ball player, and I love Francisco Lindor. The question is has he led this team into a better, higher? Does he raise the athletes around him? Has he done that in New York so far? I don't think so. And when we're talking about stats, and you're talking about him in the playoffs for the Mets, he was 2 for 10 with 1 RBI and happened to be a solo home run. He batted 200 during the playoffs. Get it, 1 series, 10 at bats, tiny little sample size, but that's the only sample size we have. He had 3 of his worst seasons of his career as a Met out of 4 seasons. 3 of his worst so far. I'm counting this year because it's pretty damn bad so far. He batted 230, 270, awesome. 254, now 207. 3 of the worst OPSs he had. 2 of the worst OPS pluses he's had were as a Met. So my issue is, as a Met, woefully lowered in his value. Has been horrible. If you look at baseball reference, start going across the board like his best years, they have not been as a Met. He has hit home runs. 31 home runs, 26, 20 home runs. Absolutely. Without a doubt, hit home runs. But I need more than I need a ball player. I need wins, and you can't. It's a different game to compare championships. Sometimes you just got to put a ring on it and see what everybody else says. And when another man puts a whole lot of rings on it, and one doesn't, you got to ask why. And maybe had something to do with being a goddamn leader. Because when I was in that clubhouse, I wanted to follow that man. I'll follow him to war. I've been around Lindor. Haven't played with him. Been around him. It's different. It just is. But you can't. That's why they call him the captain. And there's the intangibles. And I'm sorry, the one thing about Derek Jeter, he might not have made the spectacular play all the time. Never needed to, because he made every other goddamn play that ever came to him. Fine sometimes when he really messed up. And I'll look at a man who owned it and got a lot better. That's all I want out of my team is to make the play you should make. I don't need the amazing play. I want the routine play, and I want a leader. And that's what Derek Jeter is. And I'm sorry, find a man that's ever disagreed with him that played with him.
Despite that little vein in the top of David Ardsman's head that is throbbing right now.
Right? I hate this thing. I hate it. How do I get rid of that?
Despite that annoying vein that's going off when David is talking about Lindor versus Jeter, we sincerely appreciate all the comments. And like I said, we want to be the most interactive podcast on YouTube. So please continue to comment. Reach out to us on our social media. We'll put that on the screen. And we will continue to do this every so often.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button. More likes equals more great content for you. And if you haven't, subscribe now.